Clean our shoes off.
Hey everybody, Travis Holzem with Food Forest Abundance, Minnesota, and we are up in Duluth today, up at Chad Johnson's Permaculture Farm, and I have a special guest today, besides Chad, jimPgale. So I'm gonna turn it around and I'm gonna turn it over to Jim, and we're gonna walk through Chad's place and you will be amazed. Here we go.
All right, hey everybody. Hey everybody, I'm so excited. We're back after a year, and just in the last year, I can see massive amounts of growth. Chad, thank you for doing what you're doing, proving that permaculture solves all of the world's biggest problems. And one of the things that we want to show people is it is not a lot of maintenance. In fact, Chad, what would happen if you simply left this property go right now and you didn't maintain it for 10 years?
The animals are already, birds, and wind are spreading out these seeds everywhere. So you kind of create a nexus point, and nature comes in because you've created this super habitat, and it sends it out. And I think this is one of the secrets behind indigenous growing systems, because I've never seen anything like it. Every year it seems like 10 times the amount, 10 times further out, and we're actually out on what the Ojibwe called their Garden of Eden.
Wow.
So this is where they had all the celebrations. There was all the foods and everything else.
Yeah.
And the remnants are still there. And I imagine I'd be planting it back out. Yeah. But after creating this nexus, they're planting it back out faster than I could have ever done it.
Oh, I got the chills. Now, I want to say that again. What you've created here, the birds, the wind, the rain is coming into your system, and it's bringing food and all of these different plants out into the forest around this area.
Because of the intensity of life. You can think of it as biodiversity and all the different aspects, all the different plants, that intention coming in is creating something where you almost feel like you're back in the Shire. So it's made for human habitat.
Yeah. It's designed to be the maximum yield for humans. It's also for nature. In fact, how many different types of plants and species of food do you have growing here?
So over 300.
Wow.
And they're spreading a huge percentage of those out.
Yeah. That is so, oh, let's go take a look.
Let's check it out.
Wow. Now, I saw this tree last year, and it was at least 30 or 40% less volume, right? It's growing a lot. And throughout the whole thing, it's the same, huh?
Right. Yeah. So, besides the growing that you have here, where it can tap into these, terraces are appropriate ancient technology that actually regulates its own water. So we have no irrigation, no fences, no tractor, no composting regimen. And this is just super happy because you've designed it with the elements of nature to create abundance.
Yeah.
The taproot's going way down. This was actually planted by a bird.
Really?
And, you know, or some animal.
Yeah, you didn't even plant that
and it
there.
took off. So then it gets that huge taproot going way down.
Yeah. And these are stinging nettles, right?
Yep, stinging nettles just going to seed. There's a sting on the top, but if you grab the bottom, the actual cure for the sting is in the sap of the plant. So as you're pushing it in, you're releasing the saps. Now you're taking the sting out of that.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
huge in iron. So
You know,
grab the bottom, curl it up.
You know what's funny is yeah, it got me. That's funny.
Now you're gonna have to use it on yourself.
Yeah. So
Amazing source of iron.
curl it up. That's funny because I've got all sorts of stings on my arm and my finger right now. Look at that, I'm curling it up.
Nature's acupuncture.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
There you go. That's
That's-
exactly what you do.
That's great. That's so cool. All right, let's see some new stuff. And then eat it too.
It's super healthy. One of the best.
And it tastes good.
Yep.
I never
Archangelica.
Stinging nettles. What is this called?
Archangelica. So it's going to have a fennel licorice flavor to it.
Oh my gosh.
Fennel has that black licorice taste.
Mm-hmm.
It's so distinct.
It's amazing. Like
It is.
And it's an awesome ground cover. And it pours out nectar. So pretty soon as the sun's hitting this and these all open up, you can see they're just beginning. See that little shining ting?
Yep.
The whole thing will be shining and you'll see a dozen different pollinators all having a field day.
That's amazing.
And they spread themselves. So
Look at
We've got cabbages, we've got Brussels sprouts, broccoli.
Now, what you did in this area, why did you shape it like this?
Mostly so that when I walk out the door, I see this great beauty just kind of having its arms open to me.
Oh, that's so cool.
So it invites you in.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a heat bowl. And the earth form is regulating its own moisture.
Because this is like south, right?
South is right here.
Oh, south is right there.
Here's a good experiment too. So here's a farm field. Put your hand out and feel the sun on your hand.
Yep.
Now take it and angle it like this. So suddenly the heat increases.
Yes.
So you have that solar head. And also, instead of flat ground, now suddenly we've launched this up. Now the surface area is so much greater.
Yeah.
And it's blocking winds to stop evaporation.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
Roots are diving down, and you create this, like if you see this,
That's so cool.
this is releasing compounds and holding in moisture at all these different levels. And it's habitat for different insects, animals, birds.
Yep. And you've got berries on the sides, and I mean, there's like probably 10 different types of food right here.
Minnesota jungle.
That's an amazing food. That's a food forest, my friends. Most people would walk by this, they might see the raspberries and they might think that's food. The whole thing is functional and food.
There's certain perennial plants that you can just have take off. And they support each other, they support you. And then you can put more stuff in. It's kind of almost like a never-ending succession.
That's amazing. And now I love these trellises, this walkway. You've got some grapes growing here. And I think you showed me earlier, and roses, vining roses.
Edible, climbing, hardy roses. Yeah.
He just hangs around here all day.
Climbing hardy roses. And these things are so, this is one of the nature's best gifts right here. It's so nutrient dense, right? This like magic.
High vibrational and good for the heart. So it's a heart opening as the rose.
That's so cool.
Here's an old woodchuck groundhog hole. So they're opening up the beds too. They're creating their own terraces on these terraces, and they'll be hanging out right next to touching our ducks, our pecans, like they're just neighbors.
That's so cool. Now there's no fences here, so you've got there's wolves and there's bears and there's moose in this area, right? That's amazing. And yet all your food and a lot of deer. And why aren't you just getting destroyed by all these animals?
There's actually plenty for nature. So if we look up here, these groundhogs are, they'll eat this and that's great. And they're also living in here, enhancing it, whether they're making airways and diversity. But when they come in and start living somewhere, the other animals can sense their home is here. Their sense of smell and just realizing what's going on in this area. Well, suddenly they know there's a certain element of nature inhabiting this area, and that just is on their radar. And we'll have deer come through, but they're not grazing. They're browsing or passing through. And
they might nibble on the way, but exactly. And then they defecate and pee, and they add nutrients to the soil, and they add footprints, and they so many different things, right?
Exactly.
Well, look at all this. This is just everywhere you look, my friends. This is what a food forest. This is what society will be once people start seeing the vision that we're helping to show. This is it's not a hypothetical that we can have this type of thing. Here it is. And this is one example. There are examples like this all over the world, right?
Many examples.
And you're doing a lot of them. I know we are. It's so much fun. All right, let's go look around at the raspberries and some of those other things.
Yeah, so these all light up at night. Got the solar lights hit to them.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Lead the way, Jim.
All right.
Choose your own adventure.
Should we this way?
Sure.
Okay. Look at the colors. I mean, look at how fantastic that is. Little insects, pollinators go in there. They get some pollen. Look at how beautiful those are.
That's another heart medicine. It just is, you just gotta be very careful on how much you have.
Really? That's cool. Wow. All right, which way should we go? Which to the right?
Choose your own adventure. And there's many ways back around. So.
Okay. And I love the use of the flowers, the pollinator attractors. Look at all the different colors in here.
Yeah, and so these are pretty much doing their own thing.
Yeah.
We did not have to plant any of these, but they come and fill in because we've changed the habitat and the dynamics of it. Now they, instead of being grass, are taking over. So that grass is like a dream plant as a holder, you know, and it's high in DMT. Wow. And now when you go out to the field, that dream is waking up into all these wildflowers and edibles and medicinals and
the Garden of Eden.
There's so many fruit trees out in that field now that I didn't plant.
Yeah.
It's not even funny.
Really?
It's going like wildfire.
That is so cool. All right. Oh my God. More roses?
More roses. Yeah.
Right around here? Or which
So
way?
we kind of get in the thicket here. It might be easier. There's kiwis in that back area.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, there's this whole route in here that goes deeper into the earth.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah.
I mean, even this is like a painkiller.
Dandelion, yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Dandelion's a good
Oh,
one.
that's dandelion. I thought I
Yep.
recognized that. I thought that is amazing.
It's just in the shade, so a little bit different form.
Okay.
Yep, along with this. Burdock.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that for their roots are really good for kidneys, liver,
Yeah.
lower organs.
Even this, I recognize that one. Is that the one the monarch butterfly likes, or is that?
The milkweed.
That is milkweed. Okay. Sweet. I see different kind of berries. How many different kinds of berries do you have here?
Maybe 30.
30 different kinds of
And these are-
berries. That's
There's
amazing.
hops. You can eat the ends of these hops. These are really good for women too, for balancing hormones. Also, dream enhancer, just like that mugwort.
Really?
You can throw a ton of these different things in a salad. The rose petals, these,
Oh my
a
God.
little bit everything, and the synergy of that is just off the charts. And then we
Now-
got orange,
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
blizzard
wow.
orange. So blizzard orange is just the fragrance, and then just eating those. You're just like,
The
it just
sprouts themselves?
intoxicates you, just the smell alone.
Now,
And then when you're eating them, it's
do they taste like orange?
they taste like orange blossoms. So if you ever had an orange blossom,
Well, the reason I
Some
asked,
Minnesota orange blossom.
Can I go grab one?
Oh yeah, there's more that it might be easier to reach, but you can go up there too.
my lemon tree sprouted, flowers all over it. But when the little sprouts fell off, I ate it, and it tasted just like a lemon. It had all that flavor, and I was
Yeah.
like, wow.
Yeah.
And that little tiny bud tastes like a lemon.
Oh my God. The smell, that's incredible.
Yeah,
It's like lilac in a way, but richer.
it's like medicine.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
But
And
that's
those
the
are
what,
edible, huh?
orange?
Gorgeous.
Let's
These
call
are
it-
edible?
That blizzard orange.
Yeah, a little bit there.
Oh, they're good.
Oh,
Holy cow.
oh, you can taste it. Definitely taste that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's good. And it's like moist.
Mm-hmm.
And then this earthworks, just having fun. Where we create this microclimate and private zone, but then you can also come up here and just hang out.
Wow.
So I like to make places where you can just get away,
Yeah.
solace, or meditate, or
Yeah.
pray, or sleep, make
Yeah.
love, and just reconnect.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Disconnect and reconnect. Yeah.
So, how long did it take you to put up this terrace?
Probably a day.
A day.
Not even.
Now, so there was a drought last year where most of the area was pretty dry, and the way you've done it, it's like a sponge, right? How does that work?
Yeah, so you create these earth forms, and now they're soft earth. Now it can receive the water.
Yeah.
At the same time, you've broadcasted maybe 30, 50 different kinds of seeds that are edible. Soil building, well, the first rains plant that.
Yeah.
So you're planting the rains at the same time you're planting the new seed bed.
Wow.
So now you have the chance to recreate because you have a fresh palette.
Yep.
And once those go in, you're charging up those earth forms with water. So it can take climate extremes.
Yeah.
It can take a huge heat like we had through spring and summer last year with no rain, just
Yeah.
drought, severe drought. And then we had the huge rains in the fall. And so everything took off because it was holding the water
Mm-hmm.
during the drought. So this big impulse of heat.
Yeah.
Then it was ready to receive all that water with extreme rainfalls.
Yeah.
So it loves climate extremes.
Wow.
And it
Because
regulates its own water.
You design for the climate extremes.
It's just in it.
It's just how you,
You're designing it for life.
yeah.
You're designing for
For
life,
longevity
and water
and-
is
yeah.
life. So that's one of the elements that you're integrating into that.
Is that what's that one right there? No, that's not elderberry. Is it?
We got plum. That's a willow.
And plum and
Here's another apple right here. So some of these things, they're growing down below. You can have a hooked hoe, or sometimes you can just grab them and pull them over, and then you're harvesting apples from the top of the tree.
sweet.
Yeah, you can be harvesting strawberries at head level, so it's closer to your mouth.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. And I love your trellises here. Those are all grapes, right?
Yep.
Jeez, look at
Wow.
that trellis. I remember that last year.
Yeah.
It was just started, and there was hardly any vine on it when we saw it last year. Now it's rocking.
Is that where the kiwi's at? Over here, or is that?
There's kiwis behind there,
Back there.
and there's more roaming around. Oh, that's a kiwi trellis right here. So
Oh,
kiwi
okay.
that came up to the top now. So you see that
Oh, yep,
trellis right
yep.
there, and those guys are coming up. Yeah.
Nice.
Got
So-
9 different hardy and Arctic kiwis.
9 different kiwis, huh? And Arctic, I mean, that's some hardy kiwi. I know in Florida where we are, it's hard to get them to fruit because it's so warm, but we're gonna play with microclimates.
There you go.
And that's a type of squash or?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, so we mixed everything in. And this is kind of a good deer deterrent too. You know, it's forms they're not used to.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Oh, yeah, they
honeyberries.
get nervous. They get,
Yeah, it's just unfamiliar territory. You can see all these like blueberries.
oh my
There's
god.
honeyberries.
Look at that.
Oh,
And they're
these, what? I never seen that shaped blueberry. That's a different kind.
honeyberry.
That's a honeyberry, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, have that one, Travis.
There's like 7 honeyberries in here.
Oh my god, look at
Oh
them all.
wow.
This is an incredible amount of food.
Wow, it's a lot of flavor in that little berry.
So what we're doing now, this grazing is ancient
Yes, this
ancient ways of eating.
Mm-hmm. You just watch and there's food grow. Oh my god. I've never had a honeyberry. This is my first honeyberry.
I'd rather have this to go grazing than the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Especially after a little bit of cannabis, right?
There you go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Ab, I'm getting you some too.
Oh, thanks, Jim.
Oh my gosh.
Look at all the insects.
And look at all
bees
these
everywhere.
berries. I mean, there's so
There's
much.
bees everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Pollinators. You guys.
I'm gonna try to get this big. Look at that big honeybee up there. Where is it? Where'd he go? It's huge. Ah, he's gone.
Yeah, so
She-
invasive food.
I've never seen
I mean, pretty soon you start to look, and all of a sudden you realize it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's almost, I call it also invisible food because you can't tell.
I know.
And then we've already eaten like how many of these things are right here?
Mm.
Oh
Arch
wow.
angelica, blizzard orange, even the spruce tips. We'll put those
Wow.
in salt too as medicine.
Wow, I love that. This is?
Yeah, these spruce tips.
Oh, up there. Oh, yeah.
We already ate a bunch of these.
Yep. My God. Look at the colors around this thing. And you already had a good crop of raspberries, right?
Raspberries, tons of roses already came through. Siberian iris.
Wow, what's this here?
That's champagne currant. And then what we'll do is we'll, just like the raspberries, we'll plant into these because then they can't get touched. It's, you know, it becomes too much of a thicket for them to want to get into.
Yeah.
So we don't have to use the cages. We don't have to use
Right.
the protectors. We just go in early in the spring or later in the fall,
Yeah.
plunk them in.
Now, I remember you sharing last year that you've kind of cataloged some of the animals that are here. You've got more life here on your property than has been recorded anywhere, right? In this area.
Yeah, than the surrounding forest for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, there's more in here. And some are coming in or out, but that's why I think that old Garden of Eden that they had up here was probably full of life, you know. And now that's expanding again, but we can do that everywhere.
Yeah.
And even just a few people do it and make it a nexus point for nature.
Yes.
It's like you planting one seed to plant a peach tree, and now it gives you later on 1,000 peaches or 100 peaches every year. We can do that on a small scale, and we create this human habitat, but that nexus point becomes the food forests that start to inhabit all the surrounding areas, all the surrounding communities, because we're part of that bigger community. And that's why I'm saying we are this Keystone Intelligence, that we can now tap in and create what took generations and generations for ancient cultures. We actually have the machinery, the know-how, and the successful food forests, like you're doing, that we can multiply these out faster than we've ever imagined.
That's exactly right. So what Food Forest Abundance and really what the Permaculture Network are doing around the world is creating these nexus points, right? Every food forest is by its very nature expansive, infinitely expansive, right? One peach tree within 5 years can produce how many million peach tree seeds? Like it's just ridiculous when you scale it out over time.
The generational factor.
It's a generational factor that, you know, when you look at how the world got to be where it's at, right? The problem, turn the problem into the solution. The problem is the ignorance and the getting away from nature, right? To try to control, which is hilarious. We cannot control the most infinite wisdom and intelligence that's really the foundation of who we are, right? What we can do is work with her and try not to control and try to poison her and destroy, which is the ultimate ignorance, right? Which is leading to what we got going in the world right now. But again, that's the problem. This right here, permaculture design, is the solution.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we create the habitat for life.
Break for 1 second.
Okay.
Ready?